I can tell you our deputy who has given us permission to release his name because he is a victim of an attempted murder is Eric Laws. Eric Laws is 33. He first came to work for us in 2011, approximately 10 years ago, and Eric went to patrol as a deputy in 2014, and Eric is currently assigned to our district station in Dundee, serving the citizens of Dundee, Florida. Well, as soon as the shooting occurred and Deputy Laws grabbed his hand, obviously Tolentino, who's now injured, takes off. Deputy Rhodes, who is in his car doing warrants checks on the female, hops out when he hears the gunshot. He has no idea what's happening. He pulls his firearm and holds our suspect at bay. The suspect then stopped. We obviously immediately called emergency services for both the suspect and our deputy. Our deputy was transported to Tampa General, where he received surgery, and our suspect was transferred to another local hospital where he still is. They anticipate that Deputy Laws will be released from the hospital this afternoon. So this really was the bad news, good news story of a rather bizarre officer-involved shooting when the officer was shot by the suspect during the struggle over what our deputy thought was a pipe, and found out that it was an improvised and self-made firearm. We talked to the suspect. We go, "What's up with this?" And he confessed. He told us, he said, "Look, I just had this for self-protection, and I learned to make it by watching different video clips from the internet." So at the end of the day, I am sad to report that our deputies lost 2 fingers. I'm happy to report, though, when you consider 12-gauge shotgun shell loaded with double-aught buckshot going off right in your face, that first and foremost that our deputy is alive and well and will be able to return to work, and that the suspect, too, is alive and well and able to go to the county jail, where we plan to deposit him as soon as he's released from the county or from the hospital. Any questions?
That's a strong round, Sheriff. That could have easily blown an arm off.
Could have blown a head off. Could have blown both of their heads off. Could have. It was just. I mean, and they were struggling over it because it was in his pocket and pointed upward. So as they were fighting or struggling over it, it was right in both of their faces. And I just think the good Lord was looking out for both of them last night. That could have gone so bad, because once and most importantly, the deputy had no idea he was dealing with a firearm. He thought he was dealing with a guy that was trying to get a metal pipe out of his pocket. Turned out it was an improvised, homemade firearm. So at the end of the day, it turned out as a lot better than it had the potential to be. That's right. One slides into the other. And in fact, we looked at the shotgun shell, and for those of you who are familiar, when a shotgun or a shell is discharged, then what it does is it dents the cap of the primer, okay? Well, this hit with such force that it actually poked a hole in the primer. Well, regular firearms obviously didn't, but this one hit with such force that it poked a hole in the primer and it exploded in their face. So my goodness, we're just very, very fortunate that we don't have 2 dead people, and a wonderful deputy and family man and father that the good Lord was just with us last night. Or there'd been children without a father and a wife without a wonderful husband.
This is one of the first times you guys have seen such such a device? Or is it-
I can tell you, I've done this job my entire adult life, and we've seen a lot of zip guns and homemade guns. I don't know that I've ever seen a homemade shotgun, and certainly it's the first time that I can ever recall that we were involved with a shooting where we were shot by a homemade shotgun. I never remember that in the past, but it was really fortunate. Once again, had the deputy realized what he was dealing with, he certainly would have dealt with that in a different manner, and at all risks would have had that totally away from their face. But as they were struggling over it, he didn't know it was a gun.
What are your thoughts on videos like that just being out there for anyone to look at?
Well, and first and foremost, that I don't know that there is any video footage of this. We're checking with the hotels right now, but I think it's absolutely abhorrent that something like that, whenever someone is significantly injured or dies, for it to be out there to be a YouTube sensation or the latest Joe Cool, look at this, and I disagree with that. Human tragedy does not have a need to or a right to be broadcast over YouTube channels.
I apologize, I meant in terms of there are videos out there to produce things like that.
Yeah, as far as, and quite frankly, that added to the problem last night. How else did this guy know to build one of these things? Well, there are books, there are now YouTube videos, and as a result, we got 2 people significantly injured last night as well. So I'm not pleased with that, but however, we have this new social media world that's going to show you how to make bombs online. It's going to show you how to make guns online, and then it's going to show you the results of those when they're inappropriately used, for which I think it's a stain on humanity that we get some kind of entertainment value of videos of people being significantly injured or killed. Okay? Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day.
Can we see that one more time?
You absolutely can.
The device?
The device, you want me to hold it, or y'all just want to shoot it?
You just hold it right there.
It's Laws. First name Eric, E-R-I-C.
How many kids?
I'm not sure how many children he has.
33.
He's just a great deputy. Got it?